Hello there, you're welcome to this channel. So today we'll be making this double puff sleeve. Yes, someone actually requested for this and I made the tutorial for her, but I decided to share it with you all in case you are searching for how to make this sleeve. Okay, so make sure you like the video, subscribe if you are not yet subscribed to this channel, and watch to the end. Okay, feel free to leave your comments in the comment section. Remain blessed.
So for the sleeve part, you're going to cut a basic sleeve. So I'm not going to use the actual measurement you sent for because of lack of fabric. So but I'm just going to show you how to go about it. So you cut your basic sleeve. So the length of the sleeve you sent is 23 inches. That is to say from here to here should be 23 inches. Okay. Then there is no elbow point, but for every average adult the elbow is around 12 inches to 12.5. Okay, so let me just use what I have here, and let me use here to be the elbow point. Okay, so this is my elbow point in this case. So let me just come down a little bit. So in this case, this is the elbow point. So you need to know the elbow point because the ruffle, the double ruffle stopped at the elbow point. That is the side it should be. Then the pencil sleeve, okay, should be there. So by the time you have done this now, you're also going to notch the midpoint of your sleeve here. Then the next thing to do is measure what you have here, okay. So you just measure what you have on your sleeve. So in this case, you don't need front and back of sleeve like the way we cut basic sleeve. Just cut a simple basic sleeve, okay. So let me take what I have here to be 8 inches. So it's 8.25. So let me use 8 inches. So what I have here is 8 inches times 2 because I measured only one side. I know it is here and here we are going to work with. So 8 times 2, that is 16. Okay, so let me just do some solving. So that is to say the total armhole part of the sleeve is 16. Okay, so that is what we're going to work with. Now we're going to divide the 16 by 4. Divide by 4. What we'll get is 4. Okay, 4 inches. And this is what we use to cut the flay for our ruffle. So for the flay, we'll be cutting 180-degree flay. So this is actually what I have that I want to use. So it's not so much. That's why I didn't use the actual measurement. So for the actual measurement, you'll be needing about 3 yards of satin in total. Yes, like 1.5 yard, that is 1.5 yard for one sleeve, 1.5 yard for the other sleeve. So that is how far you can need. Okay, so you fold your sleeve. That if you have gotten your sleeve, you can use like 1.5. You fold it into 2 like this for your 180-degree flay. After folding into 2, you just like make a triangle with it. Okay, so you're like folding on bias. You just make a triangle with it. So I want to fold in such a way that I will see the length that I have. Okay, so I'm folding this way. So by the time you fold like this, now you are going to measure 4 inches from here. Remember how I got the 4 inches? I measured this part like this. So you can open it up and measure from one point to the other. So that gave me 16. So divide it by 4 because this is folded into 4. Okay, and the answer I got is 4. So what I'm going to do now is to measure 4 inches here. So just, you can actually do it the way we do flay by measuring 4 inches all round. Measuring 4 inches all round like this. Okay, so you can actually measure it this way so I can get the actual measurement because we didn't use the figure for dividing flay, please. So we just folded by 4. So measure 4 like this and mark it. Okay, so you can make it in form of a curve, whichever way. Just make sure that what you have here is up to 4 inches so that by the time you fold you get 16. Okay, that is what we want to get there. By the time we cut it, we should be able to get these measurements. Okay, so by the time you have done this now, you then you have to cut the flay that would fit in. So remember, I divided this into two, so the ruffle will be at this side. And for the ruffle now, measure what you have here. I have 9 inches. Okay, so for this 9 inches, for the ruffle to actually form very very well, you have to add something to this. Okay, so taking from the fabric I have here, I will add 7 inches. Okay, so you can take more than 7. The more you add, the more full it will be. So let me use 7 inches. So 9 plus 7 would give me 16. Okay, 9 plus 7 will give me 16. So this 16 is different from the first one. Now just is what I have here. From here to here, I added 7 inches to it. You can add 8, you can add 9, 10, depending on how full you want it to be. But from 8 to 9 or 10 is okay. So what I have here plus 7, 16. Okay, so meaning I would measure 16 from here. Okay, so you can start from anywhere at all. I'll measure 16 and go all round. So I'm trying to manage the fabric, so it has to be big enough. Okay, your flay has to be big enough to give you that effect. So this is actually what I can get. I'll make use of it. So I'll go ahead now to cut it. So I'll go ahead to cut it. So before I cut here, I'll first of all cut out this area. After cutting it, before cutting this side, I would open it up. Okay, I'll open it up and reduce a little bit from here, from this side, because after making the flay, let me get the picture again. Looking at the sleeve now, I don't know if you can see this. So I don't want this side to be flowing down too much. So this other side should be higher than this side. Okay, so that is the effect I'm trying to create. So here you can reduce this side by 3 inches. Okay, this open side, this side that is open like this, reduce it by 3 inches. So by the time you reduce it by 3 inches, you then connect it to at least the midpoint of this flay. You can go like this. You can go like this. Okay, so just reduce it. So that by the time you make the flay, the side would not flow more than the upper side. So when you have reduced that part, you now close back the flay like this and cut out this side. Okay, so if you want to pleat it, if you want to actually pleat this side, you can cut more, like cut what will be wider than this armhole of the sleeve, so that you can pleat. But this is what I have. So when you have opened it like this now, just open it up. Okay, open it up. On the good side of the satin, you're going to mark. Okay, so let me get the sleeve back. This is where we want the double sleeve to enter. So you can divide this into two. Okay, or you just like for the upper part, for the upper one, you can come about like the upper one should be like 4 inches, or let's say 4.5. Okay, so in this in your own measurements, just divide from the shoulder to the elbow, divide it by 2. Okay, divide it by 2. Like in this case now I have 9, so I will share it into 2, so that the first ruffle will be here while the second one will be here. Okay, you can even go higher if you want. So you can, since the lower one is bigger than the upper one, so like you can take from the starting point of the sleeve to the elbow, you can take 3/4 of it and for the top, then the rest for the down. Okay, so let me use 4 inches in this case, so that this one will be more than this. So I just hope this is clear. Okay, so when you have done this, whatever you have here, measure it. 4 inches is what I have here, so I'm going to mark 4 inches all round from this point here. Okay, so just lightly do it. So I'm going to make it bold because of tutorial, but when you're making it on your dress, you don't mark the chalk so hard. So all I will do now is just to mark 4 inches. Okay, sorry, since it's going to fold in, you are going to still add more to that 4 inches. So instead of using 4 inches, I can add like 3 inches to it. 4 plus 3 will give me 7. Okay, and also make sure that the lower one too has enough. Okay, so that's why I said I don't have enough fabric, so I just want to work with what I have. So for the lower one, I have 5. Let me see, 5. Then if I add like 2 inches to it, this is where it will be. Okay, so let me make do with what I have here. 5. So let me use 5 for the upper one. So what I'm just trying to say is, whatever measurement you have here, add more to it. Add about 3 to 4 inches. So that's why I say your flare should be very long. Okay, so that by the time you stitch it, it will have that folding effect, as you can see on that sleeve. So let me just do rough work. So I'm using 5 inches. I'm actually trying to be fast because of other things that I have doing. So 5 inches, you just mark it all the way. Okay, so by the time you have marked it now, you now have the flace now shed into two. So the you take this one. So I want to see if it will actually form the effect. So it will give us something. Okay, so now by the time you have marked it out like this, you have to open up your sleeve. Okay, so this measurement you marked, also mark it on the other side of the sleeve. So extend it. Extend it like this. Okay, extend it like this. Now this very one, you would turn it to the, that is good side, facing good side of your sleeve, good side facing each other. You now pin here, that is the edge here. You pin it down, you bring the other edge, you pin it here. By the time you pin the two edge, the remaining what you have left, start pleating it to fit into this space. Okay, so you can pleat or you can gather, whichever one. You can go ahead and pleat or you just gather it. So I'll use pin to do that quickly. So what you will do, you just gather it or you pleat it on this point so that it will fit in there. So that is just what you need to do, and you stitch it. Okay, so you just gather and you stitch. So perhaps I should just do that with my sewing machine, then I'll show you. So one more thing, I decided to show you this to make it easy for you. So what you do, just fold back your flare. Okay, notch this point, that is the center here, notch it, and notch this lower part as well. So that will really help you when you are placing it. So by the time you have done it, so you bring this one back. Also mark the center, the midpoint of this one, by folding it like this. Fold it back and you mark the midpoint. Just note the midpoint. So when I open it up, or even the fold line would show you the midpoint. So this is it. Okay, so this is the midpoint. So by the time you have done that, you can now go ahead to fix this. Okay, like I said, you're placing it this way. See the flay, see the flay, you're placing it this way. So now match up the midpoint, good side facing each other, match up the midpoint. So this would actually make it easy for you. After matching up the midpoint, now take the edge, match it, then match up this side as well. So now I can go ahead and stitch. So just gather what is left into this space here, okay, so that everything can be equal. So let me do that and you see it. So I have stitched it. As you can see, I've stitched it there just by pleating it. Okay, haven't done this now. I will then place it this way. Okay, so the second line, that is this other line I made on the flay, I would just target it. Okay, just look for the midpoint by following the first notch here. So this is the midpoint. Okay, so I will now take that part now and place it on the midpoint on this sleeve like this. Okay, so I'll pin it there as well. Then I'll pin the edge to this, that is, sorry, this edge where I marked. I'll pin it here. So you need to watch the mark, the line. So is this one. So I'll pin it here and pin this side as well here. Okay, so by the time I stitch it now, let's see, it would drop like this. So by the time you just go ahead and stitch this one to that line. Okay, just follow it gradually, stitch it down to that line. Then by the time I'm done, I'll now connect this one as well at the top of the sleeve here. So I don't know if you are really seeing this. So remember the line I made here. I'll just go ahead and also gather it to the line I marked on the sleeve. So you just do that carefully after pinning. You go ahead and just carefully gather it to that line. Okay, you follow it. By the time you're done doing that, you now connect this one too to the top of the sleeve like this and stitch it. Okay, let it match up. You can pleat it, let it match up to the top of the sleeve. So when you're done doing that, you see the flay. You see that this one would go down because of the, you took enough flay. Then this one too, after stitching it to that point, will also come this way. So let me just do it. By the time I'm done, it will be clearer. So remember I said I'm just trying to manage the fabric. So make sure you've used enough fabric for this to get that style. To get the style, you need to use enough fabric for it. Okay, so by the time I stitch it down, you'll see what you have there. So let me do just that. So I have stitched the other one, okay, and then I went ahead to also stitch it to the sleeve like this. So if you look at this side, you see the stitch, you see this one, and you see this one. Then the next thing to do is just balance it up at the side here. That is when the flay will come down. You see the way this side is, so just balance it up like this. So by the time you pull it down, the flay would come down. Okay, so you stitch it here. Just go ahead and stitch it. Same with this side. So I've already pinned it. You can see how it is. So just stretch it out to match up with the sleeve, and you see it folding down here. Okay, so that's how you get the flay. So I just managed fabric, and this is why it is like this. But if you use enough fabric, like I told you, your flare will have to be very long. So by the time you get this other one too will be long, okay, like the one in the picture. So add enough, like I said, by the time you measure what you have here, add even up to 10 inches to the measurement to get a very long flare. Okay, then cut the second frame wey you join here, and this is it. So let me just place it on my mannequin hand, and so by the time you have done it, just go ahead and close the side. Okay, just stitch the side, taking your measurement, that's you shape it using your bicep measurement and the round sleeve measurement. Okay, so that is just it. What will give you what you want is actually using enough fabric. Okay, so on each of the sleeves you need even up to 1.5 to 2 yards for that sleeve. You see, it takes a lot of fabric. So by the time you use enough sleeve, apply this technique, you will get it looking like this. Okay, just go ahead and shape it to your sleeve measurement, and that will be it. So I hope you understand the lesson. See you.